Big day here in the Big Apple for Joe Biden and Donald Trump, both in New York City at the same time today. President Biden chatting with Howard Stern, telling him he would be happy to stand on a debate stage with Trump.
I don't know if you're going to debate your opponent.
I am somewhere. I don't know when. I'm happy to debate him.
Oh, he is the debate. That's news. Donald Trump, caged inside of a freezing cold courtroom today, said, let's do it.
I've invited Biden to debate. He can do it anytime he wants, including tonight. I'm ready. Here we are. I invited him to the courthouse that he has us tied up in his administration. We're willing to do it Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, or Friday night on national television. We're ready. Just tell me where. We'll do it at the White House. That would be very comfortable, actually. But you tell me where. But we're ready.
America Majority founder Ned Ryan joins me now. So, Ned, I'm looking at this list. He's got Jason Bateman, he did an interview with, Seth Meyers. Right. He did an interview with Al Roker, the weatherman. Now he's on Howard Stern. He's still never been asked about cannibals eating his uncle. What's going on with Joe Biden?
Well, it's pretty rich that the New York Times is whining about the fact that Biden won't sit down and give long-form interviews or do more press conferences. That Howard Stern interview is example A as to why that's not happening. And the fact that they're whining about it, they're confronting what they created. I mean, the corporate propagandists were a massive part of why Biden got elected in 2020. And now they're complaining that a demented old fool won't give them the interviews that they want. It's kind of cruel, Jesse, if you think about it. They're asking this broken down, crippled old donkey to dance when, in fact, he's incapable of it. But hey, New York Times, Washington Post, you guys created this. I hope you're happy with what you've done to the country. You know, who's he gonna give interviews to in a serious way? He's incapable of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when he dodged Bear, and I get it. Bear's tough. It's Fox. It's not right, but I can see his excuse. But then he dodged CBS. CBS buried the laptop. I mean, CBS has done everything to protect this man. Same with the New York Times. They're part of the Joe Biden protection racket. Do you think he can go all the way to November by just ignoring the mainstream political media and just doing comedians and weathermen?
I have to be honest, Jesse. I think that the corporate propagandists, the state stenographers, which New York Times, Washington Post, I think they're all going to come home. I think they're going to grit their teeth. They are going to drag, pull, push this empty husk of a man as best they can to defeat Donald Trump. You know, basically his life's been a fiction, according to his interview with Howard Stern today. So just continue that fictional telling of a story, Hollywood style. But yeah, listen, we all know what they're trying to do. They're trying to gaslight the American people. They're trying to hide the true Biden away in hopes that nobody's paying attention until after November 5th. In hopes they can get Joe Biden into the White House once again and defeat Donald Trump. That's the whole point. And really, you ask why?
Yeah,
it's for power.
You're right.
It's for power.
It is.
It's not because they have any meaningful.
Pecker wrapping up his testimony, and we got to hear from the prosecution's next two witnesses: Trump's former assistant Ronna Graff, a 34-year veteran of the Trump Organization, and Gary Farrow, a former banker at First Republic when Michael Cohen was apparently seeking to arrange the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels. Trump sounding off on another day in court.
This is all a Biden indictment. It's in order to try and win an election, political opponent, and nothing like this has ever happened. I've invited Biden to debate. He can do it anytime he wants, including tonight. I'm here. I'm ready, willing, and able. And if he wants, I'll do it on Monday night, Tuesday night, or Wednesday night. We'll be in Michigan, a state that he's destroyed.
Well, the former president was certainly on the mind of the current president. Joe Biden repeatedly brought up Donald Trump while being interviewed by Howard Stern.
I don't know if you're going to debate your opponent.
I am somewhere. I don't know when. I'm happy to debate him. I don't think the election's over yet on that score.
What do you think's going to happen? I can't imagine you're going to lose, but...
Well, look, he's promised if he doesn't win, there's going to be a bloodbath. Trump makes fun of me.
Right.
He was the kind of guy in the neighborhood he wish he could have gotten in the neighborhood, meet head to head.
Maybe like corn pop. Okay, the sit down with Stern coming as Biden takes some friendly fire from the New York Times. The Gray Lady accusing the president of setting a dangerous precedent for avoiding interviews with most of the media. And despite Biden's best efforts to shuffle away from the press, Axios has an alarming new report out on his gait. Quote, instead of walking to and from Marine One by himself in the last week, Biden started walking surrounded by aides who are concerned that videos of Biden walking alone, especially on grass, have highlighted his age. Charlie, you can't stop with the giggles over here today.
Well, whether it's Trump talking about how he wants to debate Biden or the fact that the real concern in the White House is that the tall grass is going to wipe out Joe Biden. And if you wonder why the economy is in the tank, we have an open border and we have all these wars popping up all over the place, it's because the White House is more concerned about shielding Joe Biden walking to the helicopter than they are about solving any problems.
Okay, so Greg, he says it goes back to the grass, which I know that you know something about.
Oh, I don't understand that. Are you alluding to something?
I just need you to Google it.
All right. First of all, I love how these trials are fuel for Trump. If he's Popeye, lawfare is his spinach.
Oh.
He's not leading in the polls despite the trials. He's leading in the polls because of the trials, and it's hilarious to watch. It really is. Who would have thought the Howard Stern show would become the safe space for an elderly, clueless fossil, and also Joe Biden? I kid Howard Stern. I loved him, but man, he has changed. Risk has now been replaced with reward. When you listen to the interview, he's completely defanged, and he's rendered kind of a harmless Stern, the opposite of what the brand that Stern used to be. But that's what happens when you get co-opted by power and famous friends. And it's weird to see Stern switch sides. So Trump, for many years, supported Stern, gave him his best shows. And I could bet you at that time, Biden would have branded Stern a moral hazard in need of censorship. So now you have Stern basically trashing Trump, who reflects the frankness of the Stern phenomenon. And instead, Stern embraces the precise kind of phony that early Stern would have mercilessly mocked. Now on to your cheap gaffe about the grass. Okay. They're talking about a stiff gait. That's what this is part of a bigger scandal that should be called Feeble Gate, right? It's a scandal to cover up Biden's ever diminishing function. Let's be honest. The only way that Biden can look younger is to surround himself with corpses. And it's not the walk that should be alarming. It's the dementia, which makes him even more oblivious to the destruction of all our institutions. It's the woke handlers who are accelerating our nation's demise, and he's just there along for the ride. Who knows how much longer he'll be there? I think it's also, it's also hard to walk when you got a load in your pants. That's why they call him Dark Brandon, Judge.
I agree with Greg. The guy the guy's lost it. And what he's saying now, what he said on the Howard Stern show, he came up with even more lies. Now he comes up with 4 new ones. He said when he was a lifeguard, he saved a half a dozen people from drowning. Now, you want to tell me why he waited until he was 81 to tell people about that? Oh, number 2, and he said, get this, he said, whenever he, as a senator, received salacious pictures that women would give him, he would give it to the Secret Service. Joe, you didn't have Secret Service when you were a senator, okay?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Then he said when he was younger, he was on the porch with a black family. He was the only white kid on the porch with a black family. He was protesting segregation, and they arrested him. Joe, why would they arrest you? Okay, and then he said he was a runner in state scoring football. What the hell is that? First of all, he always said he was the first one in his family to go to college. Then we heard that his grandfather played college football, and he was the best. You need to have drinks when you go through this. You know what? It's just ridiculous. And this man is representing us. He talks to Xi Jinping. He talks to Putin. Oh, my gosh.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building.